Someone told me to really give them an indicator that they can use to identify supply and demand in forex trading, and it took me long before really knowing that this indicator can be reliable, because I never wanted to give you an indicator that is not reliable. Okay, so I happened to ask him, why do you really want an indicator to identify supply and demand on your chart? And he told me, I find myself doing it wrongly when I tend to draw it by myself. Okay, basically you really don't know how to draw them perfectly, or rather you've never known what supply and demand is and what criteria you're supposed to really follow for you to really know supply and demand zone. Okay, so whatever you're supposed to know is that supply refers to amount of an asset that is available, while demand is the quantity of an asset that people are willing to buy. So as supply of an asset increases, its values declines. Conversely, as supply of an asset decreases, its value rises. As demand for an asset increases, its value rises. Conversely, as demand for an asset decreases, its value declines. That's what supply and demand zone relate in forex trading. With an illustration, I would love to illustrate what supply is and what demand is. This is supply zone and this is demand zone. Okay, so on demand zone, you hear most of the time you can look for your buying opportunity, and your supply zone you can look for your selling opportunity. But identifying supply and demand zone, that's a problem most people have in forex trading, and so easy to really draw even supply and demand zone on your chart even without using the indicator. But don't worry, I'm going to show you how you can really draw supply and demand zone on your charts without depending on indicator. And to those who need indicator as well, I have that indicator for you. Okay, so guys, welcome you to Money Close FX Education YouTube channel. Maybe it's the first time you came across my channel. I really welcome you. Kindly join us by subscribing to this channel, clicking on that red button, rate and subscribe, and definitely you'll be part of this amazing family, because I believe and honestly I know this is why you belong. If you're already part of this family, I really salute you. Okay, so there is a confusion between supply and demand and support and resistance. They are all important, but they are different because we use them as our key levels. And saying our key levels, this is where you can really look at the market from. So to those people who don't really need indicators to really draw supply and demand zone on their charts, I will basically say for you to really draw a supply zone, number one, there must be a consolidation, like for instance right here, and there must be a breakout structure. So here there was a breakout structure and the market has to push to the downside, and in the future you will see price coming back to this supply zone and then proceeding with the market direction. That's what I can really tell you. It's so easy to draw your supply zone. So how can you really identify a demand zone on your chart? And as well, there must be a consolidation and the market has to break a structure, push to the upside, and then the price will have to come back to this level over here, and then it will push to the upside. Okay, so that's what we really mean by supply and demand zone. Look for a consolidation. After consolidation, there must be a breakout structure, as simple as that. So let me talk to those individuals who really needed an indicator that is really going to show them supply and demand right on their chart. The only thing you need is a Tradingview account. So you're just going to click on indicators tab. Once you click on indicators tab directly, you're just going to type BJ, select this one, BJOGM key levels EP, click on it. Once you click on it, this indicator tends to be very accurate. Okay, and I really want us to do some changes. So go directly on settings, the number of pivot points, put it in 1. Once you do like that, click on OK. This is how it is really going to appear right on your chart with that settings. And basically right away you can see we have our supply and demand zone over here. So you can basically see our supply zone is highlighted in yellow and our demand zone right here is highlighted in this blue like color over here. But basically what you're supposed to really know about supply and demand zone, the same way you trade supply and demand zone on a trending market is not the same way you trade supply and demand zone on a ranging market. Why? In a ranging market, remember we have equal lows and we have equal highs. This tends to be your supply zone and this tends to be your demand zone. So if you want to really execute your trades using supply and demand zone, you can really consider taking your trades on this level over here. And if you really want to consider demand zone to execute your buy order, you basically focus on this demand zone zone over here. But when it comes to a trending market, so this is where you really expect to find supply zone, and this is where you expect to find demand zone, supply zone, and demand zone. Okay, so when the market is trending to the downside, you always take trades on supply zone. You don't really consider demand zone, simply because when the market is trending to the downside, the demand zone tends to be broken below and supply zones tends to be respected, and it can simply show you a push to the downside. The opposite applies when the market is really rising. We have demand zone over here and we have supply zones over here. The demand zone, this is where you're supposed to look for your buying opportunity, and the supply zones tends to be broken above. So that's the most important thing you should keep in mind. The same way you trade supply and demand zone on trending markets, not the same way you trade on a ranging market. And I'm glad I've really shed some light for you. And basically the reason why I decided to tell you more about this indicator, simply because this indicator, you can see when this demand zone is broken below, this shows you that the market is really to the downside, simply because I told you demand zone on downtrend tends to be broken below. Okay, and so you can see the color really changes when a demand zone is broken, and we get the yellow color, which shows the supply zones. Okay, so guys, you better keep that in mind, because market structure really plays a very vital role when it comes to supply and demand zone. You can consider what I've really shown you, the factors to consider on trending market and on a ranging market. That is very, very important. You must pay attention if you really want to be very, very profitable using supply and demand zone. So guys, make sure that you're using this indicator accordingly, and as well use the settings I have really shown you. It's going to show you very, very accurate supply and demand zone. And I told you they are really identified by different colors, because we have a yellow line representing the supply zone and a blue like one representing a demand zone. And when a demand zone is broken below, that shows you a downtrend, and when a supply zone is broken above, that shows you an uptrend. Keep that in mind. But when they are respected and the market is actually having equal highs and equal lows, you can really consider taking your respective sell orders on supply zone and exiting on demand zone, and as well taking your buy orders on demand zone and exiting at supply zone. Remember, the market has a probability of breaking above or breaking below. When it breaks the demand over here, continue your sell order. When it breaks the supply zone over here, continue with your buy order. Okay, so guys, let me hope you have learned a lot from this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Don't forget to like this video as well. Wish you nothing but the best. Continue working hard, because I really know one day your hard work will pay you. So what do I say, guys? Bye bye. See you in my next video.